Welcome back to WSEV News 3 today at 11. When New Orleans meets Savannah, you find two cities rooted in history, resilience, and rich culinary traditions, both celebrating food as storytelling, community, and healing. Now, at the center of that conversation is author, culinarian, and ambassador for the Gulf Coast region, the queen of Cajun and Creole cuisine, Chef Toya. Food and cultural journalist Martina Yvette Allen had a chance to sit down with her. She is here now to dish the deets in this week's A Dash of That segment. That's a lot of D's.
Yes, a lot of D's.
Thank you so much for being here today. So basically, this is a big deal because in the culinary world, she is a queen.
She is the queen. She is one of the best chefs as far as Louisiana Federation is concerned. She has one of the best chefs for the Hallmark and Family network as well. So she's a really, really huge deal. And thank you to Coastal Table and Tales, not only for allowing me the opportunity to tell this story, but also for connecting me and holding space for her on yesterday evening as she celebrated and actually introduced us to a gumbo recipe that is made from her side of the family, and also something that is native to the New Orleans space as well.
Now, she describes herself as the well of wisdom for her generation.
Yes, absolutely. She is a voice of reason. With speaking with her, I realized that she has a purpose of healing. She wants to create a safe space culturally where people can actually dwell into not only just food spaces, but one of the things she also offers is like seasoning blends, wellness elixirs. She also has like a recipe for everything, receipts for how to actually clean your home.
Really?
Yes.
So she does it all.
She does it all.
And we're taking a look at a couple of pictures of her. She recently made history by becoming one of the first African-American women to cook at Whitney Plantation.
Absolutely, and one of the first women, period. So wow. This is a really huge opportunity. This is following the realms of Michael Twitty, who, if you know The Cooking Gene, which is a very infamous book that talks about historical foodways as it goes from the diaspora to the U.S. And so for her to actually have this opportunity at the Whitney Plantation, she was able to actually explore the foodways of Louisiana and how it comes from those specific channels as well. Of course, there's a lot of French cuisine that's combined in this, combined in this aspect as well. So she actually did this during Juneteenth, and she mentioned that to her, this was obedience. Yeah. This was obedience from the ancestors. She feels like she was pulled and called in order to come into this very moment, in order to embrace that space and to cook up a wonderful meal for her patrons during that time as well.
You mentioned New Orleans.
Yes.
You had a conversation with her about the controversy between the two southern cities.
So I was going to ask a very controversial question, and it was in regard to how specifically she felt about the comparison between Savannah as well as New Orleans, and how we also are seen as culinary sisters or twins. And affectionately, she said, "Who said that?" Oh. So it was one of those moments where I was like, okay, well, I said, well, let's break it down. How do you feel that there is a difference? So she definitely told me that it's not just a difference just based upon our culture versus theirs, but it's also more so about how food is channeled, how it's transported. It's also a conversation about the richness in cuisine. It's about the culture and the presence. So yes, there are some similarities, but you don't compare kids, is the quote that she gave us. So that is one of the ways that you do not compare kids.
Your children are all different.
They're all different.
And you
they're
love
all
them,
unique.
but they're different.
Right. So her call to action for that was, do not go to Savannah expecting New Orleans. Do not go to New Orleans expecting Savannah, but do embrace the cuisine that is there. Do we have red rice? Yes. Do they have jambalaya? Yes. Can it be similar? Maybe. But at the same richness of it is based upon what the difference is as far as the historical context.
And what would have made this conversation even more controversial had you asked her about gumbo?
Well, I did.
Did you? And what did she say?
So we asked her about gumbo because we actually had the opportunity to try gumbo yesterday while we were there at Coastal Tables and Tales. So she actually made a traditional gumbo dish. Her gumbo is normally a richer roux. Unfortunately, we had a bit of an incident, so we had what we dubbed as light-skin gumbo last night. So,
is that it?
So this is it. The roux is not as thick, but as you can tell, the seasoning is still there. The Trinity is there. The chicken seasoning is there. The crawfish and crab boil, which she said is really important to this dish, is maintained as well. She also gave us some cooking tips about over seasoning and how important that is, because once the it dissipates into the rice, it actually starts blending out the seasonings and actually broadening the scope of that dish. So she gave us all of those tidbits just to give us more information about how to make the best pot of gumbo possible.
And how was this one?
This gumbo was so delicious. At the end of the night, she also referenced it. I'm glad that you all enjoyed my light skin gumbo. Shout out to Drake. So shout out to Drake this morning for this.
Drake the rapper.
Game.
That's what you're talking about.
Drake
Okay, I get it. I get it. She also, not only does she make hearty dishes. Now, do we have any other pictures of some of the entrees?
So we actually have some dishes from her cookbook, which is Cooking from Scratch, which is inspired also by Melinda Russell, who was one of the first Black published authors that we do know who had a cookbook. So this one is the spinach and artichoke dip, which has a crispy andouille sausage on top of it as well. You could see that it looks so good. Like I really wish I had some food notes for this one, but unfortunately I don't, because we didn't get an opportunity to try it because this was a virtual interview. However, we do have that experience just from the photos alone. You could definitely tell how delicate this looks.
Yes, I can.
Yes, absolutely. Also, following that, we do have the red Thai curry. So a part of her book, she actually talks about the other ethnicities that basically create the food dishes in New Orleans. So apparently there's a very huge Afghanistani population there, as well as Indian population. So a lot of those different flavors and techniques actually encompass their food scene. And last night she actually told a story about a classmate of hers when she was younger that offered her some Afghanistani desserts, and how this was a way of her appreciating and accepting additional cultures to help formulate this book as well. I love the aspect of that particular dish as well. Next is the falafel. So you can see it has all of the different elements you could put in with your falafels, and it's nice and crispy, has a lot of the chickpea notes in there as well. She does not have an additional sauce. She actually talks a lot about the feta and actually just using those fresh accoutrements that you do have available to you. And last but not least is going to be the arepas. So that's going to be the ones that are basically like the pita-filled Mediterranean sandwiches with spiced lamb and meat, which she also gives a lot of notes to as well.
That sounds delicious.
Yes.
We can't forget to mention that she also has ice cream, an ice cream company called Poetic Justice. I love it. Is that after the movie?
It is. It's after the movie. It's also just a way of her culturally, again, just giving reference to the nativeness of Black culture. So she does offer 7 flavors, but she only highlights 3. One of them is a chocolate, self-explanatory. Sweet Orleans is the strawberry, and then she also has the praise one, which is the butter pecan. So traditionally speaking, African Americans were only offered to have vanilla ice cream during July 4th.
Yes.
So the Juneteenth is encompassing all 3 flavors, but the butter pecan is her signature vanilla. Everything is dairy-free, gluten-free, and it also speaks to her because she actually does have a dairy allergy as well. So she wants people to be able to enjoy food at their own expense. Okay, that will be the last of the questions. Once again, thank you to Coastal Tables and Tales for that event last night. I'm so glad you had a chance to experience that. You can find a link to Martina's blog, a dash of that, a dash of history, this segment, and any of her previous interviews by visiting our website, wsav.com/Martina.